Well, I'd like to welcome whoever's here on either YouTube or Zoom. Welcome to Jorj Takacs Chat Photography with Jorj Takacs. So every Monday night, 7 o'clock, whoever is into photography, enjoys photography, whether it's amateur, student, professional, doesn't matter. I welcome you here to try your work, and there's nobody here right now. So I'm kind of talking to myself, but that's okay. I don't mind that. Oh, we have somebody coming in. Welcome. Hi, David. Hang on, I'm just going to add you in here.
Okay.
Good. I think we've got everything going now. Appropriate. You're the first one in here, so welcome tonight to my crowd.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. In a nice cold basement.
Oh, we got somebody else, I think, in the wings here. I think. Nope, I thought we did, but we don't.
Yeah, I suppose it's going to get a bit sparse now with holidays. I'm actually going,
Well,
I'll be away next Monday, just for
yeah,
a heads up.
okay. Where are you headed?
Oh, only Niagara on a Lake. We're going to see the Shore Theatre
Yeah,
and just spend a few days there.
I'm just going to do a little bit of refining here.
Sure.
Well, I don't have anybody here except you. Go ahead. Good. Okay. So have you been doing any shooting lately?
Not really, no. I, it's either been wet or too, like today, too hot. I actually took some pictures of a dead flower pot we got because the flowers had just gone zapped out. So I thought I'd try and see what that looked like. I've, I've got a load of photos which I haven't really done much with. I've got some on flowers, which I've taken over a period of time, just trying to put them all together, different
Hmm.
ones. A couple of them, what I've done a black and white, and then just picked out one of the flowers and brought it back to colour, just to try and do something a bit different.
Okay. Oh, that sounds good. I'm just going to see if I can. I'm just going to change a couple of parameters here, so that
Sure.
when you're talking, you actually come up on my page. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, we'll do it like this. Do that, and we'll go down here. I'll get rid of that and put you in here. I'm glad you're the only one here. I can dick around with this thing a little bit.
Yeah, why not? Go for it. I'm trying to get rid of the reflections in my eyes, but means I gotta tilt my head up.
Yeah, I know that's always a problem with if you have a broad enough light source, it's not really a problem.
Hmm.
But if you don't, it can be.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got
I'm
some
going.
spotlights. I keep moving them around, but it doesn't seem to do much, change much.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see if I can. That kind of works. Now we can see you. You can
I
see
can see
me.
you. Yeah. Yeah. As I say, one of the things, no one else is here at the moment, is the flash. I
Yeah,
think I
you were
mentioned it.
talking about that flash problem.
Hmm.
I couldn't find anything really specific about why that wouldn't be working as you
Uh,
want it to. Um,
yeah.
have you played around with it some more?
Oh, yeah. And it just keeps coming up with the same thing. The camera's not set up for that particular um, sequence. Not sure why. It used to work, and then suddenly I don't know what I did. I had it on my old 7500 and it worked fine. And it doesn't work on that either now. So I'm not sure
Okay.
what I'm doing wrong.
All right.
And I've updated the Go docs to the latest uh,
Yeah.
one.
Let's see. So, you're sure the remote is built for that camera?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh.
yeah. I contacted Go docs. They weren't very helpful, but said it should work. And it's obviously
It's
they
it
just
should
blame the camera,
it
not
yeah, it should work. Jeez.
it should work.
Okay. Well, let's see. Well, there's only two of us here. Um,
I'll get the camera and I can tell you exactly what
Yeah.
it says.
Now, if you're here on YouTube, just make a comment. Let me know you're here and where you're from, maybe. I'd certainly appreciate that.
Yeah, I've emailed a couple of people, but one of them, John, he does a lot of he teaches rugby on it over the weekend, and so he takes hundreds of photos, and he spends most of his time in trying to develop them and get them working.
Yeah.
Oh, around the right way would help. Right, and that one, menu, flash. Mhm. Right,
Yeah.
there's so much to do on these things now. Oh, flash control. And it says this option is not available at current settings or on the camera's current state. So I've got it on the on the flash, it's on TTL. Um, I know when I Googled it, it said it on certain lenses it won't work for some
Yeah.
reason. So I've tried a number of different lenses and it doesn't, I get the same thing up every time.
Yeah.
Um, it works fine if I go onto flash mode and take it, it works without any problem. Well, it's just the, as I say, with the TTL, at least it will reduce the flash automatically rather than trying to do it yourself.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I've I've gone on to all these different uh, problem sites, and they say make sure it's on different settings. It's not on silence. It's not doing this, not doing that. So I've turned all those off, and it still doesn't work. So um, one of those mysteries.
Mm. Okay.
Because it's a good
Let's see.
flash.
I'm just trying to
It's like,
think of what um, now
what
you
settings it?
like. Can I see a remote? Just hold it up in front of the camera for a second.
Sorry, the camera.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I want to see the
Let's
remote.
see.
Lower it a little bit.
Oh,
Okay. So you've got the
oh,
flash on there, right?
yeah, yeah. You want
And
to see the flash?
yeah, you have
Yeah.
it in the TTL mode.
Yeah, oh, yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's
Um,
not
Let me ask
going
you a
to.
question. What happens if you have it in the manual mode?
Right, I can change that menu mode manual.
Okay. So you've got
Turn
it
the
in the
camera
manual
on now.
mode,
Yeah,
and
and
if you take a picture, it'll
nothing
fire the
comes up.
flash.
Oh yeah, yes,
Okay.
that's no problem. It does that okay. But when I go onto menu, the actual flash control is just it doesn't come up light. It's not working. And I go into flash mode and it's fine.
Okay. Now I might be stating some obvious things you've already done. You know how it is
Yeah.
with computers and electronics. You know
Yeah, I do. Yeah,
when,
I'm the worst.
when
My
yeah, I
daughter
know,
will
but when you
shout for that.
when you call your service provider, the first thing they say is reboot your computer. And
Yeah, yeah,
generally, you've already done that. Of course, the first thing
yeah.
they say is it plugged in? But
Yeah.
right now, my question is that if you look at the bottom of the flash
Hmm.
and see how many contacts there are there the same number of contacts on your camera flash shoe?
Two. Yeah, it's all the same. Comes up f4. So yeah, I've got different lens on, but that shouldn't really matter too much. Mm,
Okay, do you have a
Right.
zoom lens on?
Yeah.
Okay. So put the flash back on, make sure it's properly seated all the way in,
hmm Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
tighten it up.
Yeah. It's done. Yeah.
Okay. And go back to TTL.
Right.
When you
Yeah.
manually zoom your lens, does it zoom the flash head?
No, because it only goes up to 105 for some reason on the zoom.
Huh.
It goes from 28 to 105 millimeter.
So on the back of the flash, what millimeter is it at?
105.
It's at 105. And what's your camera at, or your lens at?
Oh, my camera is at 28. I can, uh,
Now, so what's happening is that your um, flash, your camera and your flash aren't talking to each other
mm,
with the lens.
yeah,
Now, you say you have tried different lenses. Still the same
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
All right. Do you have a prime lens?
yeah. I actually got 105. I
Okay.
can,
Have you tried that?
I will try it again. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Sometimes it's just a matter of trial and error.
Yeah. Oh, I know. 105. Yeah. Okay. So it's now got the 105.
Okay. Turn everything on.
Yeah. Try the menu. Yeah. It still comes up as blank, basically. Mm. So
What model Godox do you have?
it's the V1, the round one.
Okay. Hmm.
It's yeah, about 4 or 5 years old, maybe older. But they still
Well,
make it.
yeah, that shouldn't make any difference.
No,
Okay. And all right, let's go through. Um, do you have a Nikon or Canon?
Nikon.
All right. I'm just going to grab mine and have a look at it, okay?
Sure.
And see my setup on it. Okay. So, turning it on. Now, manual Tittl. Well, first thing I have to do, switch batteries.
Hmm.
Would be a good idea. I always throw a spare pack into the camera case because there's nothing more embarrassing than going to a shoot and then having to
Yeah.
leave to go to the corner store to get some batteries.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't make these plus and minus sizes any smaller.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that's crazy.
There we go. Now let's see what we got. Okay, it's happy with that. Now, looking at the bottom of mine, I have uh, four contacts, two at the rear, one in the middle, and the other one is on the camera top right. They all match up. I'm going to put on my flash and now my zoom shows as manual. So on the back of mine, I have ITTL, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and then next to that, I have zoom. It says zoom.
Oh, mine's got M. I think it's
Yeah,
M.
go to A.
Oh,
You know how to go to A on
I
your
did,
zoom.
but oh,
No?
seem
Yes?
to have. No, no. So,
Okay. So on your zoom, it says your mode button, which is at the
yeah,
top left.
yeah,
You press that and it'll highlight the actual millimeters.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
105.
Once it's done that, turn your selector ring so that it's on A.
Oh,
Did you get
right.
what I said?
Yeah, I got it. I just can't. Oh, A.
Yeah,
Got it. Okay.
okay. And then
Yeah.
just press set. Now it should give you the focal length of the lens you're using.
Yeah, it doesn't. No.
No?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Oh,
Then what I would
ETL.
switch over to your zoom lens.
Right, I got a TTL. Hmm.
Switch to your zoom lens. Take your prime lens off. Switch to a zoom lens.
Okay. Right.
Oh, Jorj Chuck. Where's your tie? I usually wear a tie when I'm teaching, and tonight I'm not. Oh, Tanya. Hi, Tanya. How are you doing? I'm glad you dropped in. I see that you got to run, but wanted to remind you that you're all, thank you very much. Hey, while you're here, if you're still here, no, she's gone.
No.
Got to run. Okay, well, somebody dropped in. Tanya. Fantastic. She's
Yeah, that's
one of
good.
the administrators from Mohawk. Anyway, do you have your zoom lens on?
I do. Yeah.
Okay, so in your flash window, it says A zoom, right?
No.
What's it say?
It's got ITTL M. I think it's M
Eh,
105.
Okay, well, that's what you had on.
Yeah.
Okay, so now go through that same thing, the mode dial, press it until the millimeter is highlighted, the 105 mm. Once that's highlighted, rotate your selection ring. Let me see.
Right.
Sorry, I'm wrong there.
Yeah, I got it before. Now I can't. Oh, got it. Yeah, it only goes up to 105.
Okay, now keep rotating your selection ring until an A appears instead of M. That's usually counterclockwise on the selection
Oh,
ring.
I got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
hit
I got that now.
set,
Yeah.
and now when you zoom, it should change your focal length. That way you know the camera and flash are talking to the lens.
Yeah.
I think I heard it move.
Yeah. It's doing things, but it's not actually coming up on the screen.
What, the millimeters?
Yeah.
So it's a zoom right now, right?
Yeah.
And what's it give you in millimeters?
It's just got three dots.
Three dots?
Yeah,
That means it's not
maybe.
communicating with your lens. Is your lens on tight?
Yeah,
Clicked
yeah.
clicked in? Okay. So here's what we're
So,
gonna do. Um, Let me just try something else here. Okay. Um, turn your switch your camera off
yeah.
and turn it back on. Now rotate your zoom ring from one end to the other.
Yeah, it's making a lot of noise, but nothing's coming up.
So it's making this noise.
Yeah.
Are you hearing that? Maybe you can't hear that because of the headphones I'm using.
Can you hear my one? What it's doing? I don't know where the speaker is.
Nope, can't hear it. But anyway, you know it's making a noise.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So if it's making a noise, and if you look at the front of the flash like this,
Hmm.
don't flash it,
No.
but look at the front of the flash and turn your zoom ring. And when you turn your zoom ring, can you see the flash head moving in and out inside that window?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's
So
moving.
it's working, but for some reason it's not communicating the focal
Yeah,
length from the lens to the flash, but it is doing
mm,
it. So
yeah.
um, that's one thing you can be rest assured of now, that if you zoom
Well,
in, the flash will
it's
zoom in.
working. Actually, it's working. Well, it's only going up to 105, but it's going from 28, which it is now, up to 105.
Okay.
So, yeah, oh, that's interesting. So it's
So
actually doing it. Hmm,
so that means that your flash is communicating with your lens.
yeah,
All right.
it's just not
So
coming up on the menu.
we've established that, which is really good.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's good news. Yeah, no, it's certainly better than what I was doing. It seems, and as you say, you can actually see it change on the front of the flash.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's great. So we're one step closer to solving your problem, and
Hmm,
I think that that's
that's good news. Yeah, no, that's
that is
good.
good news.
I feel like I've got somewhere finally.
Okay, I'm just
Then it's gone. Mhm.
sticking a memory card into this camera so that it functions properly. Because sometimes without a memory card in there, that affects a whole bunch of things
Yeah,
too.
that can. Now the zoom has gone again now, so I don't know why. Off and on.
You had it working, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It came up.
Well, it's interesting because that means that there might be some sort of an intermittent problem that's,
Yeah,
turning on and off on a whim almost.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think going through kind of a troubleshooting routine like we've just gone through really
Hmm.
helps you identify that it did work and now it doesn't work. So
But
for some reason,
so
there's an intermittent problem
yeah,
as you're doing this. And
yeah.
you say, how old
As I
is the
say,
flash?
it's about yeah. Must be yeah, because I used last well, one of the main times I used it was just before the pandemic when I did a event. shoot with Donna Waxman.
Yeah.
So that's, I don't know, 4, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, it could
Well,
be the flash.
yeah, and I'm looking at
Is
this
some,
flash that I have in front of me, which is similar, but it's not the round head like you have.
yeah,
It's the rectangular one. And I'm not really familiar with the flash you have, although I think the Godaks
no,
are pretty similar from one model to the next. They don't
yeah.
change them too much, uh, but they do have some other features. Do you have a manual for that flash?
Yeah, I did print one off actually.
Okay, you've got a
The
PDF
one they
manual.
send you,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, the one they send is pretty basic.
Yeah.
And then I found I could actually print one off, which I did.
Yeah. And you got to chop down around 3 trees to print these things off. But
Yeah,
you know, I think it's important to go through kind of all the buttons and all the settings because
yeah.
it's not
Well, I
impossible
didn't.
for you to miss something.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh, but if I could have your attention just for a second, just I wanted to
yeah.
show
Sure. Sorry.
I wanted to show Tanya this, but the last class that I taught, which was in Simcoe, and it was for Mohawk College, the students all got together and made a card for me.
Oh, right. That's
Yeah,
nice.
and everybody kind of
Signed it.
signed
Yeah.
it,
Oh, that's
you
good.
know. So it was one of the largest classes I have ever taught. 30
Well,
students.
oh, were there? Wow, that's
Yeah,
big.
30 students. Here they are.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah.
And they have a dedicated class and they have their own cameras. The only problem with their cameras is they've got everything: Nikon, Canon, different models,
Mm.
different years, um,
Yeah, yeah.
and these are all donated cameras. So they're fortunate enough to have people in Simcoe donating cameras, which is fantastic. They donate it to the
Mm.
school, and yeah, it's nice.
Actually, yeah, I've got I've got a cine camera and but they're both old, but I'm looking to give them to somebody. I think the camera's Sony, cine one, very small, and then the other camera, I can't remember what it is. But yeah, what I'll do, I'll get some details, and I'll send them to you. If you can
Okay.
find someone who wants them, that'd be great. Anyway, gone off the subject then.
No, that's all right. I mean, the subject is yours tonight because you're the only one here. Hey,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
yeah, but no, that's good. It made some progress anyway, which is good because I've never got that A before. So even reading the manual, so I can go from there and see. And I can test it on my old camera as well to see if it works on that one.
yeah.
But it could be that, I don't know, just something slightly different goes wrong with
Uh,
it.
okay. I would also go through the camera settings manual. The
Hmm.
not really the camera, but the tools. See if there's anything in
Yeah,
tools that are related to Flash, and you
yeah,
might find something there as well. But
sure.
um,
Yeah,
like I
there's so
say,
much on these cameras now, it's
yeah,
unbelievable.
I,
Like a
I
little
would
computer.
I would go through that kind of a thing that we
Hmm.
just went through, where it's one
Yeah,
thing at a time to see if what works and what doesn't, and
yeah.
maybe you
No,
can narrow it down.
yeah, no, that sounds good. Be good. So I'll try a
Does
few
that
different
flash
lenses as well.
does that flash you have do a nice job for you?
It does, yeah, yeah,
Okay, is it got good reach?
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
fairly good. I've tried it in crowded at a centre I belong to, and it's not too good
Yeah.
long distance. But well, I brought, I think it's 700, a Nikon 700, but that doesn't work with a TTL. Found that out afterwards.
See this puppy?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's a flash. There's a photographer that I met in Chicago who uses these things.
Yeah.
And
Well.
what he uses them for is he puts them bare bulb like that on a light stand. He shoots large factories, and he'll put these around in the factory where the camera can't see them to light
Mm,
all the rooms. And then he uses the 12-volt battery to fire them.
well.
And so what he does is he opens the shutter, fires it, and then closes the shutter.
Yeah.
And it seems to work. And I said, why not do the same thing with electronic flashes? You can slave them, right? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said, you know what? These things have a far deeper reach than flash because what
Yeah.
happens is you open the shutter, you fire this, and it begins to glow and glow and glow real bright, and then it kind of dies down.
Okay. Yeah.
And he says that light is just absolutely beautiful. Flash is too brief, it's too hard. This
Yeah.
reaches
Yeah.
into the corners. So I said to him, okay, I'm going to try that sometime. I think you can still buy these things.
I'm going to say it must be pretty rare thing to buy.
Yeah. I
Well,
have a friend of mine who's into amateur radio, and what's rare to buy are tubes
oh,
for
yeah. Yeah.
radios. And he has a
Yeah.
friend who unfortunately passed away a little while ago. He had a tube tester,
Wow.
and so he has this beautiful tube tester. The only problem is there's no manual. And in the manual, they have all a list of all the tubes and which switches on the tube tester you have to
Oh,
throw.
right.
So
Yeah. I got it.
he's looking on Google to see if he can find something to do that.
Yeah. I was, yeah. If you blow those, they're expensive, those tubes.
Yeah, they
When you
are.
blow them.
Yeah, they are. And the funny thing is that he says he can get tubes from Russia. They still make them there.
Yeah. Yeah. Doesn't
So
surprise me really. Or
kind of
China.
weird. Or China, probably. Yeah, now.
Yeah.
More than anything else. I see we've got somebody else coming in on YouTube. If that person could leave me a quick little comment, let me know where you're from. You're welcome for the to the chat. Tonight it's pretty sparse. There's only two of us in here, and I'm glad you were able to drop by. So welcome to the chat. But usually I have some guests on that specialize in certain photography. And one of the interesting things is, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I've been looking for a police department who has a forensic photographer. I'd like to have him on,
Mm.
to show some of the techniques that they use, and because they're so regulated, right? uh, to take photographs of crime scenes or accident scenes or whatever they have
Yeah.
to take photographs of, even evidence. So it'd be nice to have somebody like that on.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I
I
should
talked,
think
yeah,
somebody
I talked to the
pretty.
fire. Yeah, I talked to the fire department here. They don't have anybody taking photographs. I think that when they have an investigation, and I'm not sure what it's called, but the investigative unit in Ontario, they're the ones that come down and do that
Yeah.
type of work. So yeah, but it would be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Bit gruesome, but or can be, I'm sure.
Yeah. So well, I think we haven't got your problem totally resolved, but I think we're
No,
going
but
in the right direction. We've got one
yeah,
thing running now.
yeah, no, I feel good that I've actually got some more information so I can play with it now
Yeah.
and see on that one. And as I say, I'm
There
going to try a few other lenses.
there are
Uh,
so many menus on these Godox flashes that you can actually get lost in them,
yeah,
because you can
um,
use them as slaves, you can use them and then set them for different channels and different numbering setups. So
yeah,
uh, yeah, and I think
yeah,
sometimes you can even find where that dedication is to your Nikon.
mm, yeah.
Not sure, but I think that would be
Yeah,
something
well,
to,
give it a try anyway. No, I feel,
yeah.
yeah, no, that's good. I've moved forward, so that's good. Got some more information to play with.
So you
The
were,
actual Zoom, which
pardon me,
is
sorry. Yeah,
When I looked at the front, you could see it
yeah.
getting bigger and smaller, which was good.
So yeah,
So,
at least it's zooming to the focal length of the lens to give you the best light
mm, yeah.
for your situation. Now, I don't know if the last time you were here, whether I talked about uh,
Oh, yeah,
Donna
Donna Waxman.
Donna Waxman, and she's volunteered to give a talk sometime in the
Yeah.
next few weeks on her
Yeah.
water drop photography, and I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And of course, let's see, the other person that I'm looking to have on as a guest is somebody who was taking photographs in Madagascar,
Mm,
and her and her husband sailed from North
yeah.
America to Madagascar, and she wants to talk about her experience with her Nikon, which failed on her. Brand new Nikon, and she took it to
Yeah.
Madagascar, and it failed because of the humidity.
Wow.
Yeah,
But that's amazing. Those
yeah,
trees, just
they are.
unbelievable.
They're wonderful, and
They
actually,
don't look real somehow. Yeah.
I know.
Sort of thing you see in a cartoon film or whatever. Mm,
Yeah, what kind of film or what kind of tree grows like that?
yeah.
It's cool. It's very cool.
Interesting.
And then she went to a couple of villages, which she'll have photographs of. So it's going to be a beautiful talk,
Good one.
and
Yeah.
that'll be in September. Now, I don't know in
Right.
September. I think if I have to teach again for Mohawk, it'll be online and it'll be Monday night. So this chat of mine will have to move to
Good
another night.
news.
And I haven't decided yet whether it'll be Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm
Yeah.
kind of favoring Wednesday, middle of the week kind of thing. I
Mm,
don't know. Don't know. And a lot depends too whether I get another dual credit assignment. So I'll be teaching at the school as well in
right.
class. So
Yeah.
that will influence on what night. I even thought about maybe a Sunday night, something like that. I don't know. But like I was just saying to the visitors here on YouTube, I see we've got a couple. Please, if you don't mind, just um, leave me a note or just send a text and let me know who you are, where you're from. Oh, thank you, Andrew Reese. Okay, so Andrew, welcome to the chat. I'm glad you're here, and it's a meager uh, audience tonight. I was hoping for more, and I'm continually building up. There were a couple of people here earlier on YouTube, and they've left. But right now, what we've been talking about is um, the David's Flash and the problems that he's been having with it. And so David's here. He's on. Let's see. He's on Zoom, and so
Zoom.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm able to bring you up on the image when it comes to Zoom. Anyway, that's great. I'm glad
Yeah.
that you're here, Andrew. Uh, have you been doing lots of photography, Andrew? Yeah, Andrew, so I don't know if you realize what I've been trying to do here. I've been trying to um, do a couple of things. One of them is have a photography related chat where anybody who loves photography, it doesn't matter what level you are, all the way from amateur, student, professional, doesn't matter, to come here and show some of your work, show it off to others, and have a few people here. I'm trying to build up a little bit of uh, a group. Hopefully, it will build. Although with summer and vacation and everything else, it tends to be a little bit meager. But we have David in here tonight. We had Tanya on earlier, and another couple of people in Facebook. But they didn't actually chat, so I don't know where they're from or why they're here. But I'm glad they are. This is going to happen every Monday night at 7 o'clock for 1 hour, and then we're going to call it a night. So within that 1 hour, a couple of things can happen. One, I can have a guest. Now, if you look at some of my, if you go to my YouTube and look at some of my past live performances, you'll see that I've had three speakers on so far, all really excellent and with varied content. So the next speaker that I'm going to have here is going to be for water drop photography, and that's by Donna Waxman. And let's see, I can quickly show you a sample of that. There's a sample of water drop photography. So as soon as I know what evening she's going to be here, I'll make sure I publish that on my Facebook page as well as on the YouTube page in my live coming attractions. And I've been very fortunate in discovering uh, how to make a slicker presentation, both in YouTube and in Zoom. So that really helps because I can have speakers on, I can have guests on, and they can actually show things. I think, David, you were showing a couple of shots last time you were here.
Yeah.
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 Well, listen,
It
it
takes
is
time.
now, holy mackerel, 10 to 8. So we're going to call it a night at 8 o'clock. And hopefully, Andrew, you'll come back next week. Yeah. Andrew was just saying, I'm just going to post that real quickly. Um, Donna's great. Yeah, please join us. You can drop in, drop out. You don't have to usually stay for the whole hour. Just do whatever you feel is good for you. Uh, well, no, we didn't. We figured out a couple of things. Andrew, thank you for asking. And it, um, are you familiar, Andrew, with the Godox Flash? I'm just waiting for Andrew's answer. There's like a 12-second
Yeah,
delay
yeah, that's a
between
fun, mate.
us and YouTube. Just waiting for an answer from Andrew if he's
Yeah,
familiar with the Godox Flash.
yeah.
Because hopefully that's another thing with enough people coming in here is that somebody may
Discovered.
have overcome that problem recently and will be able to help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Andrew's saying that he does have a Godox. If you don't mind, David, could you explain to him what your problem has been?
Yeah. Well, basically the flash is not communicating with the camera. And when I try to go on, it works on manual, but when I go to TTL, it nothing. The TTL on the menu is just blank, doesn't do anything. And I've tried numerous things, and George and I have just been trying to figure out different things, but for some reason it doesn't work. And I also, it used to, well, I've got a Nikon 7500 and it worked fine on there, but it actually stopped working on that as well. So I've get into a little situation where I feel that it may be the actual flash, which is about 4 or 5 years old, may have a slight problem. I've upgraded it to the latest um, series from Godox, but it didn't make any difference whatsoever.
So I just got message from Andrew that he has a, what is it, a V862 flash.
Hmm.
I'm not familiar with that particular flash, but
No, I've got the V1.
yeah, I don't even know what I've got. Yeah. Oh, I've got the TT685 for the Nikon. So it's not a round flash like yours, David. It's
No.
rectangular.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's any benefit from being round to rectangular, but it just looked a bit different at the time. So it's one of those you think,
Okay, I
oh,
got
give it
another
a whirl.
message here from Andrew. There we go. So he's saying, do you happen to have an Instagram or Facebook account? I might be able to
Yeah, I
spend.
got banned from I got banned from Facebook, so I
What?
can't.
David got banned from. That's like
Yeah, I made
banning.
some comments about Zuckerberg or whatever,
Oh,
which I don't, I
oh,
wasn't too happy with the
you,
fact that he
you
gave
hit where
a
it
lot of
hurt.
money to a certain person, and yeah, I'm on
Yeah,
TikTok.
yeah. Well, you know what, Andrew? Andrew is just saying here that uh, uh,
7:57 p.m.
he knows that we wrap up at 8, but I'm not hard on that as far as time is concerned. Uh, there have been when we've had speakers, I've gone 2 hours
Oh, yeah,
because of the
yeah.
speakers, and it's like I'm going to have to um, regulate the speakers and say you have like 45 minutes because out of that 1 hour, if you've got a 45-minute talk and then you've got 15 minutes for questions, I think that works. But even then, I wouldn't cut it off just like bang at 8 o'clock because sorry, gotta go, click off. No,
Mm.
I'll stay and until things are resolved and finished and the conversation's done. Yeah. So exactly. But besides Facebook, do you have Instagram?
No,
No.
I haven't tried
So
that one. I should looking at
yeah,
doing
you
another
should.
one.
Yeah, you should at least have a presence on the
Yeah,
social media.
I know. Trouble is, most of them seem to be all owned by the same people.
Yeah,
Anyway, I'll
well,
give that one
use
a
a different
try.
name.
I tried that; it didn't work. Just I had to give a phone number, and they've got that. So I was told that
So Andrew is saying that he mostly uses his flash in manual mode.
in manual. Yeah, but I'm getting used to it now by reducing the power and get an idea. So in some ways, it's good to do that rather than
You,
just allow
you,
the camera to do everything for you.
you know what you need is a flash meter. Huh, just something else to spend your money on.
Yeah, yeah,
I always tell my Photo One students, I'm going to teach you photography, but I'm also going to show you how to spend money
yeah. Oh,
because
yeah, that's easy.
it's a hobby where you can
Well,
spend tons.
yeah. That was one of the other things because I brought this drone, which I really haven't used, and I was just wondering if we could do one of your talks on dust drone photography.
On drone. You know what? I could do a talk on drone photography, and I would, except I have somebody who is a licensed drone pilot. I'm not. I mean, I
Wow.
can fly a drone,
Yeah.
but he
Hmm.
actually wrote the test, got his license, and he has larger drones. I've seen some of his
Hmm.
work. He just finished photo 2 with Jessica, and this was his last night. And he said to me, I'll be here on Monday. So I'm
Yeah.
going to tell him to, I'm not going to ask him to do a presentation, not this coming Monday, but sometime in the future. But I'm going
Yeah.
to ask him to show some of his work and talk just a little bit about drone photography
Hmm.
because he's quite
Yeah, that'd be
knowledgeable
good.
in it.
Yeah, it'd be interesting because you just got that fear it's going to go up and never come back again.
Andrew's just saying he upgraded to the Canon uh, R6 Mark II.
Yeah. Yeah, I've
Well,
found that most people have either got a Canon or Nikon.
yeah,
Seem to be the
yeah.
two most popular cameras.
People who are going on trips often ask me what camera should they get, and they're talking to me about Sony and a few other brands. And I say, you know
Mm,
what? Get a Nikon or Canon. They're good cameras, well engineered,
mm.
and you can get them serviced practically anywhere in the world. Whereas with
And
some
it's
of the other brands, maybe not so easily.
mm. And it's the accessories as well. A lot of people make stuff just for those two. It's yeah.
So
And I
yeah,
suppose yeah. Once you get one, I started off with the 3400, and then it just upgraded from there.
yeah,
But they take
exactly.
to me, I'm just amazed at the quality of the photos.
I'm just going, I don't know if I can. Ah, there. I didn't realize that I could do that. There it is.
Yeah,
I can send a text to both
everyone.
YouTube and Zoom at the same time. What else is interesting, I found out today that I can simultaneously send to YouTube, to Zoom, to LinkedIn, to Facebook
Well,
at the same time, simultaneous transmissions. And so that's interesting. The one thing I do like about YouTube is that it lasts longer. So anything that I do on YouTube will stay there. So long as somebody comes to my channel, they can find it. Whereas
yeah.
anything that I would post to Facebook
Oh,
eventually,
that it
because of
disappears.
posts, gets lost.
Yeah, I've found when I was on it, it could disappear. You go on it, go back a couple of hours later, and you can't
Yeah.
find what you were looking for or what
So
you looked at previously.
I'm curious, how long are you out on Facebook? Did they give you a time?
Uh, quite a few months. It was when he gave Trump $25 million to so he wouldn't put him in jail. And also he allowed all these conspiracy people to just put whatever they want on there and whatever. And I thought, I just
Yeah.
can't handle this guy.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
really liked him from the start. I thought that's it. So I wrote this little spiel and did it. Then I just recently I thought, I wonder if I could get back on. I tried a different email address, but they obviously got my phone number and they said,
Yeah.
no, you've been you can't, we're not allowing you back on.
David
But
has to get
okay.
a burner phone and a fake
Yeah,
ID.
so I could go on Facebook.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well, hopefully you can get back on and when it comes to politics, religion, sex, I don't do any of that on any of the
no,
social channels that
no.
I have.
I just had one of those days, and I thought, yeah, I just had
Yeah,
enough.
yeah,
Was it?
yeah. I had one day like that, but it wasn't like I just sent somebody a text message because of what they posted. So I didn't actually post on Facebook. And
Mm,
I told them what I thought about uh, their post. That's it. So
yeah.
I can't get in trouble for that. It's just an opinion.
No.
But I was
Well,
like you. I was at the point. Oh, give me a break. So I
yeah.
texted back, and I usually don't
Well, I
do
had the
that.
same, yeah, I had the same thing because Nikon have got their own like website for this
Yeah,
sort. You put your photos on, and I uh, put a I think it was about the camera, about the
yeah,
flash. And
yeah,
most people were helpful. And I got this one guy who was really obnoxious and rude. And I said, no more. It's just
yeah,
ridiculous. You ask for help, and so you're always
yeah,
going to get someone who just goes over the top. So
yeah.
anyway,
Well, it happens.
yeah,
Anyway, I
it,
noticed that we've had a couple of other people join us on Facebook. A little late, but hey, better
yeah,
now
no,
than
it
never.
helps. Yeah,
And at least they know what it's all about, hopefully.
yeah,
We
and
start at 7 o'clock every Monday night. We're going to be having a little chat about photography. You can actually show your photographs that you've taken. If you want any critiques on it, we're welcome to do that. and
mm,
we'd welcome to have you. On the other hand, if you have a photograph you took and you wonder what went wrong, maybe we can help you with that too. Uh, and there's always somebody here who knows things that I may not know and may be of help to you. So I've been of this much help uh, to David tonight with his flash. We haven't figured out all the uh, solutions to the problems that he's been having,
no.
but
But,
eventually maybe somebody will come up with something here and say, yeah,
well,
I had
there's
the
a few
same
steps.
problem and I took care of it.
Hmm. Yeah, I think, well, I've gone a few steps forward, which is good. So
Yeah.
I can now play about again.
Yep.
Hopefully it will work.
Great. Anyway, I don't see anybody else making any remarks on Facebook to tell me who they are or where they're from. At least where they're from. That would be nice to know. Uh,
Mm.
because I think 3 weeks ago, I had somebody from Pakistan
Yeah.
come in, and the funny thing is, they weren't really a photography student per se. They were doing some medical exams, studying for medical exams, and they got bored, and they said, "I'm just going to surf," and they found us. So that's something. Maybe pique their interest. And that's another photographer that I'd like to get in here as a guest. Not forensic, medical photographer. I know they have medical photographers at McMaster. So I was thinking about calling them and saying, can you give a little talk about, what kind of photography you do and what kind of equipment you use for medical photography? Because they
Mm.
use everything from optical microscopes to electronic scopes.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Okay, I've got something here from Andrew. I'm just going to post that real quick. So Andrew's saying that maybe it's a TTL mode you're in. Not 100% sure though. Also,
Yeah,
clean the
yeah,
connections.
clean the connections. Yeah,
So,
yeah, that's a
yeah,
good
I
point.
mean, there's all kinds of little things like David and I were talking earlier. It's the same kind of thing when I call somebody to help me with a computer problem. Of course, the first thing they say is the computer plugged in? Did you reboot? And of course, you do all those things if you're, at least somewhat competent with computers. You do all those things before you call for help. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, no, something worth looking at.
Okay. Thanks,
Okay.
Andrew, anyway, for that suggestion.
Yeah, no, appreciate every bit helps.
All right. What else is Andrew saying here? He says, see if I can post that. Also could be in the body settings. Yeah, we were talking about that, David, for the
Mm.
flash to be triggered in TTL. Yeah, that could be. So, there are things to explore. We were
Yeah.
talking about exploring things both in the camera setting and both in the tools that might
Mm.
affect the use of the flash on the camera in TTL mode.
Yeah. Yeah, as I say, I've downloaded the proper manual for the Flash now as well, um, rather than just the little pamphlet you get with it.
Yeah. Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a night. David, thank you very much for coming in. Andrew,
It's
thanks
okay.
a million for being here. I hope you'll join us next week at 7 o'clock.
Oh,
We'll be doing a little bit more, and I know that there will be a few more people here who are finishing courses this week, and they will be in on next Monday, which would be the 30th or 31st, because Tuesday is the 1st, next Tuesday.
yeah.
That Canada Day is such a awkward holiday.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, if I
Well,
were
when
an
I was
employer,
working,
if I were an
yeah.
employer, I'd say take Monday off too.
Oh, yeah, we were just, when I worked, we were told either the Monday or the Friday.
Yeah,
If it was midweek, you just worked
yeah.
regardless. Mm.
Okay, so I'm saying good night.
Yeah.
David, good
Thank
night.
you, George.
Andrew,
Um,
good night to you.
yeah.
To you,
Thank you,
Andrew.
Andrew. Yeah.
And
And as I say, I
come back.
won't be here next week, but I'll see you the week after.
Yep. Okay. Take
Take
care, David.
care.
Oh, you can always catch up on the chats by going to my live channel.
Yeah. Yeah. I can
And
go on to
yeah, that would be
YouTube
great.
and yeah. No, check it now and again.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot,
Yeah.
George.
Okay. Thank you, David. And thank you, Andrew. We'll see you next week.
Yeah.
God willing,
Take
and the
care.
creek don't rise. Okay. And they're gone. And now there's only the YouTube channel. Andrew, thank you for dropping in, and hopefully we'll see you next week.